welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, who I'm sure you'll know by now, seeing as I've been doing these since the 1st of January, so you've got lots to catch up on. I've written several Tudor history books. I also run 2 Tudor history websites as well. Tudor history is my thing. On this day in Tudor history, the 6th of July 1553, at Greenwich Palace, 15-year-old King Edward VI, who of course was the son of the late King Henry VIII and Jane Seymour, lay dying. He prayed, "Lord God, deliver me out of this miserable and wretched life, and take me among thy chosen. Howbeit not my will, but thy will be done. Lord, I commit my spirit to thee. O Lord, thou knowest how happy it were for me to be with thee. Yet for thy chosen sake, send me life and health, that I may truly serve thee. O my Lord God, bless thy people and save thine inheritance. O Lord God, save thy chosen people of England. O my Lord God, defend this realm from papistry and maintain thy true religion, that I and my people may praise thy holy name for thy Son Jesus Christ's sake." Then, between 8 and 9 o'clock that evening, Edward died in the arms of Sir Henry Sidney, one of the chief gentlemen of his privy chamber. His last words were reported to be, "I am faint. Lord, have mercy upon me and take my spirit." Now, Edward had been ill for several months. His immunity had been severely affected by contracting smallpox and measles at the same time the previous year, and he hadn't been able to fight off whatever it was that he got in 1553. By the 20th of May 1553, the imperial ambassador was describing Edward's condition as desperate. And on the 30th of May, he wrote, "The King of England is wasting away daily, and there is no sign of likelihood of any improvement. Some are of opinion that he may last 2 months more, but he cannot possibly live beyond that time. He cannot rest except by means of medicines and external applications, and his body has begun to swell, especially his head and feet. His hair is to be shaved off and plasters are going to be put on his head. The illness is judged to be the same as that which killed the late Earl of Richmond." On the 11th of June, the imperial ambassador reported that the king's indisposition is becoming graver and graver. And on the 12th of June, the judges of the King's Bench were shown the King's device for the succession, Edward's plans for who would succeed him, and ordered to turn it into a legal will. The judges refused, as they were worried that overturning the succession would be considered treason, but Edward explained the reasons for his decision. "For indeed, my sister Mary was the daughter of the king by Catherine the Spaniard, who before she was married to my worthy father had been espoused to Arthur, my father's elder brother, and was therefore for this reason alone divorced by my father. But it was the fate of Elizabeth, my other sister, to have Anne Boleyn for a mother. This woman was indeed not only cast off by my father because she was more inclined to couple with a number of courtiers rather than reverencing her husband, so mighty a king, but also paid the penalty with her head, a greater proof of her guilt. Thus, in our judgment, they will be undeservedly considered as being numbered among the heirs of the king, our beloved father." So he's saying they're undeserved to be in the line of succession. He demanded that the judges should accept his wishes and legalise his device for the succession, and the judges were told that to refuse the king's command would be seen as treason. On the 21st of June 1553, Edward VI's device was issued as letters patent for the limitation of the crown, having been drawn up by Sir Edward Montague, Chief Justice of the Common Pleas, and John Gosnold, Solicitor General of the Court of Augmentations. In his device, Edward VI stipulated that his crown was to be passed on to the eldest son of the body of the said Lady Frances, that's Frances Brandon, Duchess of Suffolk, lawfully begotten, being born into the world in our lifetime. But Frances Brandon, who was Frances Grey, Duchess of Suffolk, did not have any sons. So when Edward's health worsened, the king decided to change his device, his document, to read, "To the Lady Frances's heirs males, if she have any such issue before my death, to the Lady Jane and her heirs males." Now, Edward removed his half-sisters from the line of succession, stating that the said Lady Mary, as also the said Lady Elizabeth, to all intents and purposes are and be clearly disabled to ask, claim or challenge the said imperial crown or any other of our honours, castles, manors, lordships, lands, tenements and hereditaments as heir or heiress to us or to any other person or persons who so severe as well for the cause before rehearsed, as also for that the said Lady Mary and Lady Elizabeth be unto us but of the half-blood, and therefore by the ancient laws, statutes and customs of this realm be not inheritable unto us, although they were legitimate as they be not indeed. Half-blood, that seems quite a strong language to use about his half-sisters. And Edward also passed over the Stuart line, so Mary, Queen of Scots, as his father Henry VIII had done before him in his will. On the 4th of July, the imperial ambassador reported that Edward had appeared at the window at Greenwich some days before to prove to everyone that he was still alive, but that he was so thin and wasted that all men said he was doomed. The ambassador thought that he would not last much longer, and he didn't. When Edward died on this day in history, the 6th of July 1553, Frances still didn't have a son, so Frances's daughter, Lady Jane Grey, became queen, being officially proclaimed Queen Jane on the 10th of July 1553. Now, Jane didn't actually find out that she was queen until the 9th of July 1553. And when she was informed of Edward's death and the fact that the king had nominated her as his successor, Jane was said to have collapsed weeping and declared, "The crown is not my right and pleases me not. The Lady Mary is the rightful heir." However, once John Dudley, Duke of Northumberland, and her parents had explained Edward's wishes to her, it appears that Jane then saw the crown as her duty and her destiny. She later told Mary I, "Declaring to them my insufficiency, I greatly bewailed myself for the death of so noble a prince, and at the same time turned myself to God, humbly praying and beseeching him that if what was given to me was right and lawfully mine, his divine majesty would grant me such grace and spirit that I might govern it to his glory and service and to the advantage of this realm." Her reign, though, was to be just 13 days, for Edward's eldest half-sister, Mary, managed to rally support and was proclaimed queen on the 19th of July 1553. Lady Jane Grey, the former Queen Jane, was executed on the 12th of February 1554 following her father's involvement in Wyatt's rebellion. Now, another big event happened on this day in Tudor history, so I can't not mention it, although I can't make a really long video and go into details. But the other event is the execution of Sir Thomas More in 1535. Sir Thomas More, of course, being a man who kind of acted as a father figure and a good friend to King Henry VIII, and who had served him as Lord Chancellor loyally for many years. So I'm going to give you a link to read an article on More's execution so that you can enjoy both Tudor history events on this day. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad that you're enjoying these on this day in Tudor history talks. You can subscribe by clicking round about there. You can hit the bell to be notified of new videos as they go live. And please do consider giving my videos a like. Subscribing and liking these videos just makes it easier for other YouTube users to find my videos and to get a Tudor history fix. Thank you for following. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.